Now, what are the backgrounds of the iMovie and what are the backgrounds that I might want to introduce? This is something quite simple because let us assume that I want to introduce some sort of pictures into my presentation, or maybe I'd like to import some sort of a presentation itself. I don't want this to be like a whole clip and only a video clip, but in it itself, I'd like to have something in place that is exported from, let's say, a PowerPoint presentation, or maybe I'd like to present some sort of a picture in the form of a PDF, whatever that is. What I would do is I would basically insert some sort of a background in between maybe two clips, or maybe between the introduction and the clip itself. It is basically the same again operation. It is again going to be a drag and drop. It is going to go to a default length of, let's assume over here it is 3.5 seconds. I think that's it. Let's experiment organic, and yes, the default length is 3.5 seconds. So this picture is going to be shown for 3.5 seconds. Okay, of course I can extend it, I can shorten it. Don't be afraid if you see something like this. It is only because the graphic presentation of the picture is that it's just an illustration and it's going to overlap itself. So don't worry about that. However, this is still going to be a bit boring because this is a still frame. It is not basically, well, it is a bit of a sort of an animation, but it's not really moving that much. Now, I might want to basically remove this one, and here I have the maps and backgrounds, which is a bit more interesting, and let's put this one in place over here. And what is happening over here is I have the default region is San Francisco in this case. If I click onto the editing of this, right, there we go. I have the route. Now, I've started my journey when I was creating this clip with the flamenco show. I was in Barcelona. I took off from Gdansk. So I choose Gdansk. Done. And I went to Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain. Done. So what I see is that automatically the map resets itself and it shows the two locations that I've just specified. And the animation is going to look as following. Right, I have this cool effect of the Indiana Jones films, if you know what I'm talking about. So I've traveled from one place to another, and this is where I have actually recorded the show, yes. And that is pretty much it. And that is pretty much the iMovie. And again, as with any other program, I would encourage you guys to experiment with it. If you've gone too far with something, if you've done something that seems to be a mistake, there is always the undo option. In this case, it is a Control Command Z. I do believe that on the Windows it is a Control Z combination of keys, and you just go back one step. I'll just show it right here. Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, and as you can see, what I have done is absolutely gone. So you can retrace your steps, you can go back, and this is going to be a pretty handy version. Now, just the final thing, I guess, that would be before we end this introductory film and we end this instruction video, is going to be these elements on top. And that is going to be pretty much it. That is going to be iMovie. So, up until now, we've only discussed the tools, the dragging and dropping of the elements from your library, doing anything with the clips and separating the audio track for the clip. We've also discussed adding the keyframes, and so as to fluently control the volume. Of course, you can add as many keyframes as you wish, and thus your volume might go a bit crazy if you wish. This is completely up to you. And then I do also have to say that when you want to control these keyframes, when you want to insert these keyframes, it is not only going to be about the track which is separated from the video, because you can also do it if you have the audio connected with the video. So you can just insert it over here. You don't have to go into the element of separating these two. You can do this in tandem. There we go. Now the last element, as I have just said, is going to be these options that are on top. And this is controlling the color balance. Then you have the color correction if you wish. Then you have the cropping. Then you have the stabilization. You have the volume. You have the noise reduction and the equalizer. You have the speed of the clip, and you have the clip filter and clip information. Obviously, if you play with any of these options, if you do anything with these options and then you want to go back to the original one, reset all, and that's it, and you're done. But what does it do? When you have the clip, when you are editing this piece of the video, maybe you'd like to go into controlling the colors, and you want to go with any of the color and with the white balance, and then you just take the pointer and you see where the white is, as to see how to control the colors overall in the video. Then maybe you'd like to control the temperature of the colors. Maybe you'd like to control and change the colors of the video. Then, as you can see, it is going to change, but this is going to change overall in the whole video, not just in between a section, but in the whole video itself. Or maybe the colors. Now, the cropping, this is where the story gets a bit interesting, because you might want to have because maybe you'd like to have the clip cropped to fit some sort of a specific area. You might want to tilt it, you might want to turn it around. As you can see over here, you have these options, and you may rotate the clip. But you also have something which is named as the Ken Burns effect. Now, the Ken Burns effect, this is something that at the start and at the end, you are going to have the frame changed. So let's say that at the start, I would like to have the full picture of this video, but at the end, what I want is I want it to only to be focused on this guitar player over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to control the frame, and I'm going to decrease the frame. So in this case, overall in the whole clip, and that I'm going to have, the clip is going to zoom in on the guitar player. Let's see how that works. And as you can see, the video is slowly gradually zooming in, and then it is going to focus on the guitar player. In the very end, it is going to show less and less of the background and of the area around the guitar player, and in the end we are going to have him in the very center, so as to create a very interesting effect, which seems to be a bit more even professional, if you'd like to have it that way. There we go. Of course you can do it the other way around, and when you are editing this, you can go and you can revert the beginning to the end, and then you have the video which basically looks like this. And as you can see, it really does look professional. Again, with the other controls, as with the filters, because these are quite interesting as well. You can go with the video filters and the audio filters, the video and the clip effects and the audio effects. Now, this was a small room where the presentation took place, but if I'd like to introduce, okay, something doesn't really work. Oh, there we go. I need to click on this one. Cancel. and I'm going to go to this one. No, it doesn't want to work with me. So I might go with the filter directly, right? And I'm going to turn it into black and white, or maybe sepia, or maybe change the color balance or something. And it is going to also show me in real time what the video is going to look like. I am a bit concerned with the audio effects though, because I don't know. Oh, I know why, because I have the audio track detached. So this is why I couldn't highlight this one. And there we go. Now that I am working on the audio track, which is separated, I am going to now have the possibilities of changing the forms of the sound and the filters of the sound. Let's see how this works. As you can see, the default is none, so as it was recorded. It can go with the echo delay. Let's have a look at this one. Not really much of a difference over there. But what about a telephone? Right, now we clearly see the difference and we hear the difference. Or maybe let's have a cathedral. Right, so as you can see, what we can do is we can introduce interesting effects and layers over the sound and over the video. The thing that we just maybe want to remember, and the mistake that I just made, was that if you have the video and the audio separated, it is not going to work in tandem. If we go into this clip, we can go fluently from the video, cancel, and then into the sound, right? Because we have the two of these tracks together, right? Two of these layers together. And that is pretty much it. If we have the final product in place, if we do have the film that we want to export, if we have this film ready, what we simply do is we go to the file and then we go into the share option, and we go to email, YouTube, prepare on Facebook, video, image file, and it takes us into the specific presets of whatever we want to export the video for, right? The other options on top, of course, edit, and as you can see, we can have a lot more options than we have had already over here on this layer on the editing table, right? Or the marking or the modifying or the views. But some of these are going to be the tools that we have already used over here. If we, let's say, right-clicked a specific sound, a specific frame, a specific piece that we are editing. And that is pretty much it. If we go into file, and then if we go into share, then if we go into basically a file, then we are going to have a dialog window open, and that is going to show us that, well, we can choose the audio only or the video and audio. We can go into the resolution, and that maybe we want to change the compression and the quality, and then we go into next, and then it is going to basically ask us where we want to save the file. And that is the iMovie editing software, ladies and gentlemen. Things can't really get any more simple.